Well, hello. Today is Friday, March 12th, and we do have an anniversary. Today is Karen and Michael's 38th anniversary. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy anniversary. Well, happy anniversary to Karen and Michael. 38 years. It's really good. So I didn't go for my walk today. I told you I had a 3.6 loss. I was very happy with that. I did work really hard. I think that the fact that I'm just not stressing about it really made the difference. It really did. I wasn't 100% on plan this week, yet I still had a 3.6 loss. I'm not going to get cocky about it. I just think it's not concentrating on the number, not setting a time limit on my goals. Really made all the difference in the world. It really did. I just feel so much better about everything I've accomplished this past week. And so I feel really, I noticed I push my glasses up a lot too. When I'm editing, I'm not, okay, right about now you're going to go like this with your glasses, and then right about then I go like that with my glasses. It's funny how you have these little tics that you're not really realizing that you have. But anyway, I got up this morning early, and that was, see, now that's another thing that kind of threw me off a little bit is I usually weigh myself at 10:30 in the morning, and this morning I weighed myself at 7:45 in the morning. So that could have played a little bit difference. I'm not going to worry about it that much. But with the clocks going forward next week, or actually tomorrow night, yeah, tomorrow night they're going forward. That means that if I would have normally weighed at 10:30, it would be 11:30, but I know I'm not going to wait till 11:30 to get weighed, so I'm going to weigh myself hopefully by 9:30, which would really be 10:30. So I'm kind of like easing into that time. But I'll just take my weight, whatever it is next week, at whatever time I usually when the weather gets nicer and I can able to get out for my walk a little bit earlier, I don't stay up as late at night. I tend to be more of a night owl in the winter, more so than the summer, because I like to get up and get my walk in before it gets too hot. So I kind of go to bed a little bit earlier, but not that much earlier. So anyway, I got up and I went for my my eye appointment, which was at 9:15. And when I got there, there was a sign on the building that said you had to call first to let them know you were there and wait in your car until they called you. But I didn't want to walk back to the car, so I thought I'll just stand here. Because it was a nice morning. It wasn't that, I only wore the sweatshirt this morning. And so I called, and it rang, 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 and nobody answered. So I thought, well, maybe I dialed it wrong. So I called it again, and I called, and it rang, 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 and nobody answered. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to call it again and see. Well, then finally a message came on, and it said if you'd like to reach the operator, hit the star key. So I hit the star key. And it rang, and it rang, and it rang, and it rang, and nobody answered. And Jim says, are you sure your appointment's for today? And I go, I'm positive it was for today. And he says, well, I don't understand why they're not answering. And with that, he went to open the door opened. I says, well, maybe we're going to stand in the vestibule, and they'll see us in the vestibule, and then they'll let us in there. No. So then we pulled that door was open. So I went like basically into the office, but not completely into the office. And the nurse came with the little thermometer to take my temperature. And I said, I tried to call, and she said, oh yeah, our phone lines are down. Then take the sign off the door. So anyway, so I went in and they dilated my eye, and went into the room to do the test. And then the doctor had a intern with him that was learning, like obviously learning the trade. And he asked beforehand, do you mind if the student, he says, I'm going to do all the work, but I just want him to like see what I'm doing. And I go, I don't care. I never have a problem with that. When I had my gallbladder surgery, the doctor came in and he had a bunch of students with him, and he said, do you mind if they witnessed because back then it was just, they were just starting to do the laparoscopic procedure for my gallbladder. And so it was a new thing that was doing, they didn't cut you. You gotta cut me, Nick. Rocky. But anyway, so I said, yeah, I don't care. I says, as long as somebody that's doing it that knows what they're doing. And the doctor said, no, I know what I'm doing, but I wanted to teach them. I go, I don't care. That don't bother me. So anyway, so he got the thing all set up, and he looked at my eye, and then he said they had the student look at my eye, and then he lined up the machine like he was going to do it, and then he showed him how the machine was supposed to look, and then the doctor came back, and then he did the laser, the things. I know they have to do it to make sure you don't move, but then the nurse is holding your head like you're a child, like whatever. So she held my head, and then he did the shot, the things, he, shot the little beams of light or whatever it was, the laser into my eye, and then he did it, and then he showed the doctor in training. He says, well, come look at the eye now. You can see the difference in the lens, and blah, blah, blah. He says, now we're going to do this procedure to get rid of the floaters that she's been complaining about too. And so then he says, now compare it. And he took the picture and he got it all done, and then he did it again. And he says, okay, look at it. So he was all done with everything. And so then he said, okay, Sandy, you're done. And I said, okay. I sat back, and he's getting up to leave the room. And I thought, oh my God, my vision is like really weird. And then I closed my good eye, and I was blind. I could not see out of this eye at all. It was like I had my eyes closed, and I knew I had my eyes open. I go, oh my God, I'm blind. And he says, no, you're not. And I go, I can't see. He says, blink, blink, blink. And I went, blink, 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 blink. And then I could see. He says, yeah, I meant to tell you that for that quick little 10 or 15 seconds after you back away, it's going to be dark, but then the lens will clear up, and then you'll see. Thank you, doctor. Why didn't you tell me that beforehand? he was very apologetic. He says, I really did think I told you that beforehand. And I said, no, you didn't. And I didn't remember that from my other eye, and because I had it done on the other eye before. And he says, well, how are you now? And I go, no, it's fine now. I said, but I had a little moment of a panic attack there. I thought maybe you hit the wrong, trying to impress your protege, that you hit the wrong beam and took out my sight. And he says, oh, I would never do that. He said, I'd lose a paying customer. I like him because he's a jokester. So I said, yeah, okay, that sounds fine. He says, okay, you can go, you're fine. I says, okay. So I go on, she says, do you want some sunglasses? And I said, no, I brought my cataract sunglasses. They're in the car. And she says, yeah, you might not need them, though. And I go, well, last time I got my eyes dilated, I needed them. No, I didn't need them. I really didn't. So it was fine. So then from there we went to Lowe's because I had to get a key made. And then we went to the Apple store. I told you the whole rigmarole making my appointment about my Beats pill that's not working. And I really felt really safe in that store because, oh my gosh, they had 2 security guards on the outside of the store that checked, because they sent you a code on your phone to admit that you had an appointment there. So the 2 security guards had to look at that. And then they asked us all the COVID questions. And then they opened the door, and we were greeted by 2 more security guards who took our temperature, gave us some hand sanitizer, and then we were brought over right away to the person that was going to take care of us. And it's a pretty big store. At its busiest, when I had gone before COVID, you would probably have, I would say, probably 50 to 100 people in that store with the workers and the people, going to buy things and stuff in there. I think there was like 4 customers, and they were like really far. We were like 10, 12 feet apart. We were really far apart. And so she looked at it, she tested it and everything, and it turns out I have a vintage Beat pill, which is worth a lot of money, I guess, if it's working properly. But the battery has pretty much shot. So the only way it'll work is if it's plugged in, and I have to get a special plug, because this plug that I have is not the right wattage, which I didn't know that these plugs had watts. Did you know that? Probably you did. I'm probably the only one that didn't know that. And I guess I'm using a wattage that is, not this one, is 5 volts. And this one's 12 and a half. And the 12 and a half is the one I need. And I actually need the Beat cord to go in it, which I do have. I did get that from Amazon. So we're going to see. I'll just have to always have it plugged in when I'm using it. So I said, well, how much is a new one? And she said $180. And I said, well, I looked at Best Buy and it was $135. And then she said, I'd get it at Best Buy if I was you. But if it works when it's plugged in, that's fine. I don't carry it around with me. I usually listen with my earbuds anyhow, so that's not a big deal. And then we came home and I had a healthy breakfast. Although it's Friday, I eat very light, you know that. But I had a salad with a little bit of cottage cheese and some pineapple and iced tea. And then for dinner, I just had a tuna fish sandwich. Well, nothing big. And then at 3 o'clock, we went and got Jim his first COVID shot. So, and then when I was watching the news tonight, I saw the good news that in Michigan on April 1st, I think they said, yeah, by April 1st, everyone in Michigan 16 and older can get the COVID vaccination, which is like, we're really moving up. So, and then last night, President Biden said that by 4th of July, we should be able to meet with friends and family, have barbecues, and celebrate the 4th of July. That'll be another thing that'll be kind of cool. So I think my trip is looking a little bit more like a reality. And then my 50th anniversary party on July 2nd, which is a Friday, looks a little bit more promising to me. And I got invited to Aiden next door. He's my favorite little boy. He's not even a little boy. He's graduating from high school. He invited me to his graduation party, which is the last Saturday in June. So it's just like everything's coming up roses, hopefully soon. But I remember when we moved in here in 2006, and Aiden was 4 years old, and he rode his big wheel over, and he got to the end of my driveway, and he stopped, and he put his hand up like that. He said, "Stop, you're new." And I go, "Yeah." He says, "I'm Aiden. I'm your neighbor. I'm going to take care of you." And I said, "Okay, that sounds good. I'm Sandy. I'm glad to meet you." He's my favorite. Of all the kids in the neighborhood, he's my favorite. He is so much my favorite. And he has taken care of me the whole time I've been here. He always says hello to me. The other boys, they got to that age group where they didn't want to say hello. Like, "I'm too cool for you." That was never Aiden. Aiden never did that. He always said hello. In the summer when I would go on vacations, he always came over and watered my plants, took care of my house, turned my filter on and off, put the chemicals in the pool. He's just the nicest young man. He's turned into a fine young man. And now the problem I'm going to have, and this is just between us, I've been invited to his graduation party. I've been invited to Adam's big party and to Kyler's party too, because they're all three are graduating at the same time. And they're all really good friends. But I intend to give Aiden more money than anybody else because Aiden's taken care of me all these years, and Aiden's been really nice to me, and I know I shouldn't judge things on that by that standard, but I do. And I'm just hoping they don't compare cards because then they're going to go, "What the heck? Sandy gave you more money than me." And I know that they probably won't, but that's just how I am. I don't know, should I give them all the same amount, or should I just give Aiden more because he's a little bit more special to me? What do you think? So, anyway, now my phone is ringing. I don't know if you can hear it. It's my phone, my Apple Watch. I'll just call them back. But anyway, like I said, I feel so much less stressed now that I'm not worried about a number, and going to just continue on my path of having a loss each week, and no matter how big or small, and I'm just going to enjoy the trip. So, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, and share it if you'd like somebody to see it. And as always, stay safe, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Stay safe.